people to make choices. Okay, you don't have to take the money to pay the mortgage off. It's great if you do that because now you know your family can stay there when you lose a loved one. But if you decide to say, you know what, I'm going to take half that money, pay off half of the house, and refinance it so I can have a tax break and put the other $100 into an annuity or something to make sure it's making money, you have those options. If you have no mortgage protection policy, then whatever, if someone passes away, you might have to struggle to pay that mortgage. Most households are set up on two incomes, husband and wife. And when you have those two incomes and you lose one, you've lost half of your money. Okay. The mortgage company don't want to hear that. All they want to know is that they're still getting their money. With some mortgage protection policies, you have what's called living benefits. And living benefits means that with that policy, if you ever have a heart attack, stroke, cancer, Alzheimer's, you can access your death benefit paid directly to you while you're still living. We call it life insurance that you don't have to die to use. Now, every company do not offer that. So you have to do your homework. That's why it's so important to sit down and talk to more than one agent because if the agent don't sell it, he don't tell it. And I'm gonna say that again. If the agent don't sell it, he don't tell it. That's why when you go to the dealership, you go to the Ford dealership, he's not trying to sell you no Chevy because he don't have them. All he gonna tell you about is the Ford, all the types of different Fords that he had, whether it's the Explorer, whether it's the Ford Focus, whether it's the Ford Yugo that used to be out there. That's all they sell, so that's all they tell. Insurance works the same way. He will sell you, or she will sell you, or they will sell you a policy that's a mortgage protection policy, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Okay, you're gonna pay a little bit more if you decide to put in there for a. Now with our companies, the living benefits is standard. We have five of those: critic, chronic, critical injury, Alzheimer's, and what did I leave out? Critic, chronic, critical, and critical injury. We have those in there, but you can also get with the policy as an add-on disability, a disability rider that could help pay you if you become disabled. Okay, so mortgage protection is designed to protect the two people. You want insurance on both of those in case someone passes away. It allows your kids to stay in the same neighborhood, in the same house, in the same schools. And it also may allow the spouse not to have to go back to not the same as when they was there. And so you want to set these things in place. When should you buy a mortgage protection policy? You should buy one after you close on the house. You should sit down with the insurance specialist and talk about mortgage protection and get that after you close on the house so that you don't have to worry about it. If you own a house and you're an individual by yourself, you don't want to leave your kids a lot of debt, or you don't want to leave your family a lot of debt because if you leave them that house with no money, now if they can't rent it, somebody still has to pay that mortgage. Mortgage companies are not going to wait to get their money. Okay. You also want to make sure that you know the company that you with and know the type of mortgage protection that you're getting. Do your homework. Ask questions. A lot of times we don't know the questions to ask. So I'm going to educate you that right now. When you sit down with anybody, ask, is this a term or is it permanent? Okay. Term only goes for a term, and we spoke about that last week, term versus permanent. Also ask, does my policy have living benefits? Also ask, does my policy decrease in term if I take the term part of it? These are things that you want to know, and you want to sit down and compare. Weigh out both premiums, which is affordable for you. Is it the term or is it the permanent insurance? Both of them will pay off if you pass away. But with the term insurance, there's never cash value as with the permanent insurance. Okay? Know what you're purchasing. And when you purchase something, don't let anyone come in and take it away to tell you something different. Unless you're sitting down. I tell everybody, if you want to replace a policy, bring that agent and sit him down with you so we can sit face to face and let him tell you why he's replacing this policy that we put in place. Because sometimes he comes in and tell you what his does, but he don't tell you what your policy that you already have in place do. A lot of clients make the mistake of letting someone take something away because they think they're getting something better. And cheaper is not always better. Cheaper means that it's lacking something that the other policy has. It's just like going to the restaurant and you can go to McDonald's and you can get a burger, or you can go to Chili's and get a burger. It's a different in burgers. The quality of the hamburger is different. So when you're looking at the different companies, look at everything that you have out there. Let's not always go cheap when it comes to us. We got to put some of these things in place for our families. Okay? Let's not leave the family a lot of debt. We have to sit down and know what we're getting. We want to talk about what we're getting. And if you don't understand, it's okay. Just ask the questions because that's what we're here to do. We have a lot of experience on this Zoom right now with agents that's willing to help you. We have agents all across the United States that we can get someone no matter what state you're in to help you with your mortgage protection. And that mortgage protection is a peace of mind for you or for your spouse or for your parents or for your children because we don't know. We don't know the day, the time, or the hour. But one thing we do know, if we put the right things in place, our family will be okay. And it's up to you as the homeowner. It's up to you as the leader of your house. It's up to you as the spouse to the leader of your house to make sure that we sit down and talk about these things. When you purchase the house, when you purchase the house, make sure that we talk about these things. And you have to read. Reading, we're left behind because we don't read. We're left behind because we don't come to things like this that we should be at to learn where people is educating us week after week on different things about insurance. And I'm not saying I know I don't know it all, but you know what? I know a lot to help my community. And all that I don't know, I have different people like Pam Armistead out there, Ty McCoy out there, Doris Rivera out there, Doris Whitehead out there. We have enough agents out there that's like Doris started out talking about things that I just picked up on. We're here to help our community get better educated on insurance. That's what we do every week. Tonight is mortgage protection. And if you have a mortgage and you don't have it protected, you need to talk to the person that invited you here tonight. Anybody have any questions for me? And I apologize again. I didn't know that I was going to have to bring that slide up, and the slide just wouldn't come up in my iPad. But I'm pretty sure that I've given you a lot to think about and a lot to talk about. And also, the mortgage protection that the mortgage company gives you protects them and don't protect you. Remember that. They're protecting that mortgage that they're giving you in case you default. Okay? When you take out your own mortgage protection, you're protecting your house or your spouse.
Your family.
So remember, and your family. So remember, if the spouse leaves the house, you want to be protected. That's how you got to remember that. And I'm not talking about divorce. We're talking about love and dying, not divorce. If the spouse leaves the house, am I protected? That's what the mortgage protection does. Anybody have any questions? There's
Hey,
no
Laura.
good and there's
Hey.
no wrong question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's Pam. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify a couple of things. So you have PMI insurance, which if you're a real estate agent, you know what that means. That means that if that person, buyer, defaults on their loan, then the investor will get paid back. So if it's the FHA loan, it'll be turned into a HUD home. If it's conventional, if they put less than 20% down, we know that that's PMI insurance. So that covers them. Now, the mortgage protection insurance is life insurance, and some people get decreasing term insurance, and that insurance is paid directly to the mortgage company if that
Mm-hmm.
person dies. Now, the good thing about having your own mortgage protection insurance is the insurance that we have living benefits. So you don't have to die in order, in order for your family to benefit from it. So if you get cancer, one of those sicknesses, that Lawrence says, then you can pull money from that policy. No credit check. You don't need no credit check. If you get into a bind and you're not able to take care of yourself, you can pull money from that insurance and you're able to use that until you get back on your feet. All right. And then your life insurance is still intact as well. So I just wanted to, let you all know you don't have to die in order to benefit from having mortgage protection.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pam. And the old days, insurance was just for dying. When they came around, they collected those 25 cents from your grandmothers or your great grandmothers for some people, and they collected that 50 cent or the dollar. The guy came by, knock on your door. See, those days are gone now. Those little penny policies, sometimes you only had a nickel policy, but that goes way back. Things have changed now to the point where when it comes down to insurance, they gotten rid of the debit agents. They were called debit agents. Okay. And so they would go out and just get you the basic little small 10, 15, 20 cent policies to make sure you had something. Because back then, like my grandmother, she passed 3 years ago. She was 102 years old, and she would tell you she still had a policy on her son that she paid for. $500 was a death benefit. My dad's 86, so she bought that when he was a baby. So back then it was $500 to bury somebody. She wasn't paying a whole lot. We still haven't found that policy yet. Okay, so that's why it's so important to know the company, know your agent, and know what you are purchasing. We have to make sure we know what we're purchasing, not just for mortgage protection, but for any type of insurance. And make sure you know the agent that you're buying it from. Make sure they're going to be around in your community or be around that you can get in touch with them when you need them. So we're going to say this again. Mortgage protection protects the home for the husband and the wife, or I'll say for the two people that owns the home. If you are an investor, you definitely need mortgage protection because you want to protect all the houses that you have. So if you have 5 houses and they're worth 200,000 each, and you have mortgages on all of them, and every mortgage is 200,000, you need to have $1 million because you want to make sure you don't leave all that debt to your family. It's great to leave them a house, but you gotta look at they're not gonna do what you do. They may not be able to rent that house right away. They may not be in that state. They may have to find a realtor to take care of that, but they need money to make sure they can do some of these things with. And it's up to us as the family and head of household, and as spouses, and as business partners when we invest in these things and make sure that we also invest into the life insurance. You can buy a policy for each house you purchase. Or you can go out and buy $1 million policy now and say, I'm gonna buy 3 or 4 houses this year. I want to make sure I have enough to cover them. Okay. We have anyone out there that have any questions? And see, we said it wasn't gonna keep y'all long.
Yes,
Every
I would just
Thursday,
like to add one thing,
7:30, we're
Mr.
gonna be
Poole.
here. Yes, ma'am.
You and Pam, the only thing I think you could add is that it's very affordable. And if you consider maybe you would pay no more than say $3 a day, might be just the premium, the perfect premium. So talk a little about how affordable it is for families to insure themselves. I think that would be a great thing.
Okay. Any insurance is affordable if you want it to be. And term is less expensive than permanent. Each person is different. It goes by your age and your health. The younger you purchase it, the cheaper it is. The healthier you are, the cheaper it is. But we still get people qualified even if they're not as healthy as some. So when people say, I can't afford that, where can I find the money? And I know Ms. Dar is talking about, $3 a day for the mortgage protection. $3 a day for life insurance is a great thing. When you add it up. It may be a little bit more or close to a little bit above that when it comes to mortgage protection. But where do we find the money? We have to look at what we're doing. And for some of the ladies, we're talking about the stilettos, the pocketbooks, the hair, All these things. Some of the guys, we're talking about the Nikes. There's $200 Nikes out there that people are purchasing. We're talking about the football games, the drinking. And I'm not saying don't do these things, but what I'm saying is this: if your house is not in order, get your house in order first and make sure you have everything covered before you go out and spend this extra money on other things. We afford what we want to afford. You got people out here, they say, I'm going to the concert. I don't care if the ticket is three, four, five, $600. They'll fly from here to Vegas to go to a concert and spend that kind of money. But their house is not in order with the insurance and necessary things that they need. So when she's talking about that $3 a day adds up, and it can be affordable, and it could be that savior that you need for your family. So don't let it get away because you're thinking of other things that you're doing. Let's come back and just take up some of the things that we need to do. Okay? Anybody else have any questions? There's always no right or wrong question. So if anybody have a question, they can come off and ask now. And I hope that this little education on mortgage protection was valuable to each person that got on this call. Hopefully you learned something that you didn't know. It can be just a simple thing that the term policy, the decrease in term policy really is not the big policy now to have. It could be that to have living benefits with the mortgage protection now. Whatever you learned, it was worth you coming here. Hopefully you'll come back next week. We're going to talk about some more insurance. We don't know the topic yet, but we'll be back next week every Thursday, 7:30, and we'll have the slides ready because it's just my iPad wouldn't pull it up. I don't know why, but we'll be ready next week. But hopefully you got something for this. It's now, I think, approximately 7:55. So we took 25 minutes to give an education, and hopefully it was worth it for you taking a busy time out your schedule. We appreciate it. We appreciate Pam. We appreciate all the agents that got on. We thank you to all the guests. And if you have any questions, please get back to the person that invited you. Thank y'all. Everybody
Thank
have a
you.
good night, and we
Thank
will
you.
see you hopefully next week.